and welcome back to Mix Masala with TG. I am Tenzin Gopal, a sound visual artist, and a big namaste from India. Today, for this session, we are going to dive into the world of hemp and its historical relationship with India. Before we start with this session, I would like to notify all of the listeners that this episode will be divided into two parts. On the first section, we shall speak about the world of hemp. I'll give you an overview of its qualities and what it is, and yeah, a brief introduction of hemp. Hemp versus marijuana. What is the difference? It is like a common misconception that hemp and marijuana are two different species of a plant. To be honest, it is a fact that they are not distinct species but are two different names for cannabis, a type of flowering plant in the Cannabaceae family. While from scientific point of view it does not differentiate between hemp and marijuana, however, the law does. Legally, the key difference between the two THC tetrahydrocannabinol content THC is way more uh, fun word to pronounce rather than the scientific terminology. The elaborated version of THC is tetrahydrocannabinol content. Alright. So THC is one of the many cannabinoids or chemicals found in the cannabis plant. It's like a tongue twister here. It's the one that's primarily responsible for the high associated with cannabis. I'm super excited to talk about this subject because I'm a huge supporter of hemp, and yeah, THC is the best. And as we go further into the subject, we will also discover how CBD and THC differ from each other and what are their properties and how does it affect the human body or any living object or any animal that consumes them. I would say maybe through smoke or through eating, I don't know. Yeah. So what is hemp? The term hemp is used to mean cannabis that contains 0.3% or less THC content by dry weight. Why 0.3%? The definition was first proposed in 1979 in a book called The Species Problem in Cannabis: Science or Semantics. In the book, author Ernest Small addressed the fact that it's challenging to distinguish hemp and cannabis because there is no actual taxonomical differences between the two. Small proposed the 0.3% rule as possible solution, but he himself acknowledged that it is an arbitrary number. This number was used in the legal definition of hemp as specified in the Agriculture Act of 2018 and other laws in the United States and all around the world. Due to the low level of THC, the possibility of getting high is pretty unlikely. Hmm. Now we come to what is marijuana. Usually indicates cannabis that can get you a good high. The term is used interchangeably with weed and a number of other terms you name. Legally, marijuana refers to cannabis that has more than zero point 0.3 THC content by dry weight. The content can vary among cannabis plants. Some strains are bred to be lighter in the THC than others. Cannabis plants have been designated as cannabis sativa, cannabis indica, or a hybrid. Each one of these has its own characteristics and effects, although science has yet to verify this. Yeah, it's yep, that's hemp and marijuana for you all. Uh, have you ever gotten high? I mean, this is a personal question asking to all of you listeners. And what are your thoughts on getting high? And yeah, I mean, it's. I think stoners are cool people. I get stoned, so it really helps me to concentrate and be able to sit in one position to do my artworks. Otherwise, the mind goes here and there. So it does help me a lot, many times. So what are your stories? If you can share them to me, if you want to share your stories with hemp or marijuana, your experiences, I think it will be fun to hear them and share it with all the other listeners around the world. All right, we come back to a history of hemp in India. Um, you might not immediately associate hemp and India, but both India and hemp share a long history. Traditional hemp use in India stretches back thousands of years with its origins in the Ayurveda. With heaps of challenges in the history of hemp in India has never been a smooth one. After more than a century of increasing regulation and even criminalization, we are now able to start to see a new dawn of hemp in India. But before we explore the history and future of Indian hemp industry, let us again know a little bit more about just hemp. Hemp is a plant every part of which can be used, the stalk, seeds and flowers. It is an environmental friendly, sustainable and climate adaptive crop. Hemp can be grown without pesticides and requires a lot less water than other crops like cotton. It is also more productive per area of land than other crops. In fact, hemp can be considered a weed and grows really fast. The diverse nature of hemp can be observed when we use it as a raw material for productions. Hemp can Hemp can be refined and be used in the manufacturing of variety of commercial items such as pharmaceuticals, papers, textiles, biodegradable plastics, paints, insulation, biofuel, food, beverages, furniture, constructions, personal care, and animal feeds. It's a wonder plant. Despite this incredible versatility, hemp often gets a bad reputation because of its cousins, right? Marijuana. So, so it's sad to see that people tend to discriminate between everything, including plants also. But yeah, they are not the same thing. Marijuana comes from cannabis indica, which have THC level of yes 5 to 10%. Or just reading out this percentage of marijuana, I feel already high. It's good to hear. Uh, Hopefully, we can have our hands on something that is concentrated as much as 10%. Wow, that would be really awesome to be flying high in the sky. Wow. This cannabis is historically associated with psychoactive products. They are known by many names like bhang, charas, ganja, and hashish. Hemp comes from the plant Cannabis sativa, which is different from its cousin Cannabis indica. Cannabis indica is grown for its psychoactive properties, whereas hemp has many practical uses and does not produce any psychoactive effects. Due to these differences between marijuana and hemp, it allows hemp to dominate in the production sector when compared with its cousin. Okay. Now we shall look at how and what and the history of hemp in India. And I hope all of you are enjoying this session. For today, we shall end this session of this episode here. Before you leave, I would like to request my listeners to subscribe to my other social media pages, and if you have any stories that you would like to share, you are very much welcome to share it here on Mix Masala with TG, aka Funk Blue. Good night.
Origins